Today we'll start with another function which is very important function, that is subtotal. First I'll explain what is subtotaling. Suppose there is a huge data which is having lot of data about different regions, north, south, west and east. And in the data there are multiple entries of north and multiple entries of south, and we want a total of north region in the data itself without deleting any row, without applying any filter, or without applying a formula SUMIF, which is a value which will be given in a separate cell. But we want in the data, together with all the rows and columns, we want an extra row which gives you the total of particular values. So let's start with an example. In this example, there are 5 columns and the data is having the different regions. In the region, there are the different categories which are sold in the different regions, and there are subcategory, and there are the sales figures and the quantities sold in different regions. So first rule for applying a subtotal function, data has to be sorted on the criteria on which we'll have to go for the subtotaling. Here I want to go for the subtotaling on the basis of the region. So I'll first do the sorting of the region so that all the region entry would come at one place. So one thing you'll have to understand when you'll go for the sorting, it's always important to select the entire data. If you don't select the entire data and do the sorting of a single column, that will give you the erroneous result. So first I'll select the entire data, go to the option of custom sort, where I'll go for the simple sorting of the region with A to Z. So the central comes at the top, and at the last we'll have the west region. So these are the different entries. Now I want to find out the total sales of the central region. So one way is I'll insert a one blank row, do the SUMIF over here, and similarly for all other regions. But that is a very time consuming. If we'll have thousands or hundreds of different cities or different countries and we want to find out the total, so that is a very time consuming option. This is not possible to do. There is an option which is available, that is called a subtotal function. For the subtotal function, we'll have to first sort the data on the basis of the criteria on which we'll have to go for the subtotaling. Now I'll just select the entire data, and then under the data tab, there's an option of subtotal. Under the data tab, when you click, it is just click based option. You just click on subtotal. It will give you a dialog box. This dialog box have certain options. First is at each change in. When there is certain change in region, we'll have to go for something which I'll have to go for totaling. So in this drop down, there's all options are there. I am performing subtotal on the region. We can apply on the category as well as subcategory or sales or quantity, but I am going to apply for the region. So I am selected this region option. Then these are the options which perform the subtotaling. So I'll go for the subtotaling of the sales figure. I want to find out the total sales of the region central, or the east region, or the south region. So suppose there is certain difference in the sales of these 4 regions, then I'll have to go certain corrective measures in my marketing or for the distributor promotion or anything else I'll have to do. So for this, I'm going to find out the sales option, and then just click on this. You will find with the central region, there is another row automatically created which give you the central total. This would be the total of the entire values with having a central as a region. It is basically a SUMIF function, but subtotal would give you the values on the basis of they automatically create the formula, and it will take the ranges. These are the different ranges, that is D2 to D6 is a range, which is there in this particular formula. And these are the different outlines are available. These outlines are having the subtraction sign. When you click on this sign, this automatically collapse and you will have only one row, that is a central total. If you want to collapse, they will give you the total row and just collapsing the individual entries of the region. And if I want to expand, it will give me the individual entries of the region as well as the total. So there's an option of ungroup. Here is another option. If I don't want these outline, I just want a simple subtotal option with a one row created together with the each region. So I just clear this outline and now my data is having no outline. That has a separate rows, that is a central row. This central row give me the information about a central total. Here it is an east total, and similarly this is basically it's known as the subtotal function. And at the bottom they will give me the grand total as well. Grand total is basically the summation of all the four regions which are available in this particular example. We can perform the subtotaling in place of the sales. We can perform the subtotaling with the quantity as well. So just try this example with the quantity, and if you find any problem, you just give me the problem in the YouTube comment statement. Subscribe my channel so you would learn Excel starting from a very basic functions to the advanced functions